Gang, gang. Last year tried to warn them, this year I destroyed them. Fish talk of the city, now I'm the one they annoy with. Instead of spilling emotions, it's Hennessy in the morning. The cheap suits in the afternoon with more Henny porn.
Cheap suits.
Yo, episode 319?
319? 319. Fucking shit. Fuck.
The fuck?
Fuck with a Q. Cheers, sir.
Down! Shout out to Arnold.
I like to say fuck with a Q.
Before we take this sip real quick, though, I was, I don't know why I just thought of it now.
Out of the liquor
I went
you
to
stole?
smell it. I don't steal liquor. That's first of all, stealing liquor is wild, yo.
Yo, you got the little joints. Anytime you see anybody get the little joints, we stole them shits.
No, man. Sometimes they come in gift packs. You know, when people want to be cheap and they don't feel like buying you a whole bottle.
I'm black. If somebody's buying me liquor, it's going to be Crown in a bag. They're not buying me them little joints. Because then I'm like, where'd you steal it from? Why are you giving me stolen shit for my birthday?
You don't know enough cheap people. Maybe. There's some people who like, you know, it's almost like I got to bring something because I don't know you and care about you enough, but I feel weird coming empty-handed. Let me come with a whole bunch of minimals.
You don't think that would be like, how did you feel when they gave it to you?
I'm thirsty.
Oh, you.
Yeah.
Or you're
Where's the
drunk
glass?
you're a drunk like that, huh?
Where's the glass?
I don't got no feelings, but my hands are
My
shaking.
hands are trembling because I need my fix. I need my
Fucking
fix.
shit. All right.
No, there's this thing I was watching. Remember I told you before, I want to kind of get into, I guess, being more informed and learning some knowledge on like cigars.
Sounds like a good plan.
More knowledge on whiskeys, wines, things of that sort.
Get in your grown man bag a little bit. Them 30s is starting to hit you, huh?
Be real. My life has been great since my 30s hit.
Nigga, let me tell you something.
I love it more than my 20s.
I say this so fucking much. I was born in my 30s. Everything happened after 30.
I feel like I look my best in my 30s.
Bro.
I feel great in my 30s.
In my early 30s, I was at my best shape. I got married. I had kids. I fucking graduated. I was in the military. It was like my 30s was like the apex.
My mini beard came in.
The rest of the shit is cream on the top.
You don't even see my jawline no more.
Best decade of my life for sure. I did the most research, relearning, all of that shit growing. Everything in my 30s.
You're right.
I mended all relationships within my family in my at 30. I mended my relationships.
I will say also, I cooked the best in my 30s that I ever have because I learned so much.
Mm-hmm.
I did more research. Especially, I mean, you know, credit to COVID. I was inside. I had to learn some shit. Started self-teaching things to myself. A little bit of
who you associate.
A little bit of engineering with the audio,
bro.
You know, there's a lot. Yeah. Oh yeah.
You start
associations.
You start
affiliations.
Really chasing the stuff that you want to do.
Yeah.
Start making some. I'm telling you,
it's been great.
This finishes at about 27, 28, and then it's if you do it right.
Yeah. And
because a lot of motherfuckers are just growing old and not growing at all.
Aside from acknowledging how good we feel in our 30s or felt, because I know you done passed that time. You
especially I'm getting back, but my 30s, my fucking 30 to 36 was like peak time for me physically.
Yeah, but I will say one thing I did pick up about whiskeys, and I don't know how factual it is, but the white guy sounded good when he was talking about it. And he was saying that there's a certain way, you know, because a lot of people don't believe in mixing your whiskeys. You know, you got to savor it. You got to, you know, smell it, like really smell it, like to really inhale all the aromas. And then, but he did something weird that I'd never seen somebody do before. And once he did all that stuff, the little mixing around and doing all this, you know, talking about all this shit that might not have been important, he also threw in like a dab of water inside.
Okay.
And there's something it's supposed to do with the flavoring or some shit like that. It was very weird.
You was looking at him like Salt Bay, huh?
At first,
he gave you a little.
He was doing the Salt Bay of whiskeys.
Yeah.
The Salt Bay of whiskeys
he
is how he sounded.
He gave you a little M word.
Yeah. Hey, man, Salt Bay fell off.
He didn't.
Yes, he did.
What's he supposed to do? The nigga don't talk. He only does one thing, and you only get like 15 seconds of fame for that one thing. He don't even talk.
Now let's get into it, dog.
But he was murderizing pussy, bro.
But before then, who are we?
Oh, shit. You already know who he is. Cobretti. Hate Nito. Goose God.
The Gooch guy. Oh, Pipe God.
Pipe down, y'all.
The man who pipes down.
You know what I'm saying?
That sounds better than getting piped up.
Super Mario
That's
Brothers
crazy.
down here. We pipe down. Clunk, clunk, clunk.
Clink, clink. Are you?
Clunk, clunk, clunk.
You're Mario though. You're shorter. I'll be Luigi.
Sure. You be my second fiddle. You like Green 808.
Whoa, second field is crazy.
Star Double R.
You can't just ruin my
didn't
intros
like
like
that
that.
shit.
You can't just ruin my intros like that. Let's run it back. Ladies.
Tuned into the kid. Star Double R. Crank that shit up.
Oh, man.
So the reason I said I felt like the era of Salt Bae kind of fell off.
It wasn't an era.
There was an era, man.
He had a moment.
It was a long moment.
He took advantage of that shit.
An era.
That motherfucker got, how many kids he got?
I don't know nothing about his personal life like
He's
that.
got like fucking 9 kids.
I just think he's a celebrity groupie.
I think that
celebrity
that
groupie.
shit worked.
Yo, you got banned from the World Cup.
Dog. Yeah, he did some that was crazy.
I'm
though.
saying he does shit like this. That was the most grand scale.
Who wouldn't do that? I mean, for them, you know what the World Cup
Okay,
is.
I can only speak for myself because I've been around like celebs.
Yeah,
and shit
you
like
know
that.
what the World
but
Cup
I don't.
is,
I've
though.
never like thought like that. Like to get that wild over another being.
He got his shit done, bro. He got it done.
He was out here. But
got it done.
I also heard that his food ain't really the shit that it's
It don't matter. You know
it's
why?
hyped up to be.
Because he was throwing salt around and he was throwing dick all over the fucking globe.
Throwing the D.
Yo, he was throwing dick around the globe.
You think he knocked down some top stars?
I think that he
Maybe
got
not top stars, but some models.
he got at least 3 top something
3 top something
for sure.
and the top. That's fair.
May come package deal, but all right. Let me ask you a question.
You say come package deal?
I don't
That
know.
sounded crazy.
but
I like it though.
you for sure would have found out if I did.
We dishing out come package deals here.
But so I'm leaving the house today,
Mm-hmm.
and my sons are getting on both of our nerves. And my wife is like, "What age can we leave them by themselves?"
That's changed, but keep going.
That's changed.
Go ahead, keep going.
For sure, that's
I wanna
changed.
hear you
and
out.
I told her, well, I mean, based on a maturity level, when he gets about 8 or 9,
Mm-hmm.
I know I was being left. Man, look, I'm a 80s baby, which means number one, my mom was not taking me in the store shopping. We sat in the car.
You also got to acknowledge though,
It's a different time.
you didn't get raised by a regular mom.
No, it was a different time. I was being left at like 7, but I didn't want or need anything. I had my, and then when we went to, if my mom's going to Payless, we're going to be in a car. It don't matter what the weather's like.
R.I.P.
For all those people who are mad
Yeah.
nowadays, we were sitting out in a hot car, but I had my X-Men figurines and I was good. I didn't want to be in there any goddamn way. My mom was for sure leaving us in the car for as long as she was in there.
Well, my mom loved me. And
Now you just,
and I was not getting left. Not only that, my
I think
mom,
it was a trust thing.
Not only that, but my mom didn't want to burn gas. my mom. Okay, so my mom is one of those.
burn gas as far as what?
Hold on. I would say both my parents.
No.
My both
No.
parents are like these. Like every cent counts.
Burn gas as far as what?
The car gas. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. You didn't even have the car on. Did you get the windows down?
We got the windows down, sir. We're not leaving
Yo,
no fucking
that's-
car on.
that's
this is the
wild.
90s, baby.
just a little bit longer, and you wouldn't have existed, and the world would have been a better place.
It was what it was. I grew up strong, real strong. Yeah, rolling windows down, you be all right.
That's wild, yo.
To whereas the kidnappers can just pull us around out the
They
car.
didn't want you.
Never, not a car full
you.
of not a car full of black kids. You skip that.
Hey.
That doesn't sound like a good time.
Let's move on to the next car. No, nah.
That doesn't sound like a good time. No.
No, that's
But we
that's-
was good.
that's
We was
crazy.
cool. And I was being left home or coming home early from first grade, second grade, waiting for my brother and sister to get home. I'm walking home by myself.
Yeah, no.
My son is not there.
The days back, like now, you don't see kids outside like that. But from what I could recall, back then, man, there'd be hours of us not being home, being away,
My
walking
mom
distance.
had no fucking clue what I was doing out there. And we was doing
My mom either.
I was the crazy friend. We was doing all sorts of crazy shit. But hey, it was what it was. What a time.
Yo, we was
What a time.
and it's funny because me and you grew up in the same neighborhood. So you know, you could go a distance. Like,
Oh, I grew up in a couple neighborhoods.
How many neighborhoods? No, but like the one we grew up in,
When I was here.
there's a lineup of neighborhoods that are all like connected together. They just keep on going all the way down, and I could be on one side
Dog.
all the way to the other side. Nobody would.
We
know.
just be out there.
We'd be outside,
We just be out there.
and there was no worry about getting kidnapped.
Listen,
Nothing like
there
nothing
was
crazy.
there was an era where we had a skinhead problem. Where we was out here fighting. My mom didn't know nothing about it.
Let me clarify though. There was no knowledge to us
Right.
that could happen to us. Let me be.
Well, I
to
almost-
the sense,
me and my
'cause it can be-
sister-
that's a sensitive subject for some people.
Me and my sister almost got kidnapped walking to school one time.
Really?
Yeah. That was scary. Thank goodness my sister had them spidey senses because I didn't. We was walking to school. Ed Cody, shout out. If you know, you know. And she just kept looking back.
You went to Ed Cody?
Yep.
I
I went to Ed Cody. I went to Adams Hill. I went to John Glenn. I went to Gom.
I went next door to Jordan.
I went to all of those, bro.
That middle school, that first year. No, that was my second year. My bad. I had just moved.
Mhm.
It's nothing like the first time you see a kid get laid out by another kid.
Nah, that happened to me in 5th grade was my awakening.
That first time.
That's the
in
first time it
school,
happened to me.
Fight knockout.
That was the first time it happened to me.
Was your first time witnessing fights?
No.
Oh, I was like, you were the witness.
The same nigga that showed me my first knock a kid unconscious was the same kid that beat me up.
Damn.
In the classroom,
That's the wrong one.
in front of everybody, in front of the teacher.
No fucks given.
Demasius Coleman.
Oh, him.
He was from Crack Era, DC, and he was nothing to fuck with. He knocked the second day of school. Before we even walked into school, you remember being out on the playground playing basketball before school started?
Of course.
And he got an argument with who I assumed was his best friend. And he just knocked him out.
Shit.
I didn't know the kids could be knocked unconscious.
Oh, you learned today.
Oh,
Or
I
that
thought
day.
he killed the nigga. I just was like, what the It was one of those days where it was like, you're still trying to figure out who all is in your classroom. So after you see that and then you realize that this nigga is in your class, it's like, oh shit. And my parents had just got divorced. I was separated from my big brother, and that was like my source of strength. He was the one that was teaching me all this stuff. So once you get separated from him, you on your own.
I love that this segment just popped up. Freestyle pod guys.
Hey, I'm
gonna just say
telling
that right
you.
now.
But dig though, back to the original point.
Yes.
How old is too old? And I told her, like, my son will be 7, but maturity wise, he ain't there yet.
Mm-hmm.
But it all depends on how you raise him. So if we build up his maturity about 8 or 9, he'll be fine. He ain't gonna do nothing but sit in there and watch his favorite show. He knows how to get his food and everything. He knows how to lock everything. So I say 8 or 9.
Depends on what trust and responsibility
That's what it
levels
is.
that kid has.
You got to see what maturity levels they're at.
I'll get back to that because I have my little answer. My answer is real brief, but I will say that back to the school thing. The first time witnessing different, like first of all, even if you're in elementary school and you're like, who's the one who tries to be the hard ass, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember there's always this one cat. Man, I think his name was George or some shit. Yeah, I think his name was George. Typical like bad kid. Thought he was like, badass. One of the ugliest kids in class, by the way. He just happened to be a kind of a big boy, right? And he was bigger than all of us. And so I remember he got to talking shit, man, like crazy shit. And there was this girl, and I forget her name, but I never forget the moment because this is when I was like, oh, I didn't know girls could make dudes cry. And he was talking crazy, reckless, right? Well, old girl had enough. Pieced him up.
That's how it be.
In the middle of the classroom.
The best fights is when a motherfucker has had enough.
When I say she might have became an elementary school legend, right then and there, and dude was like lost. And when the tears started running, I was like, oh man, nobody can be scared of this guy ever again. No.
Yep.
There was no way, man. You lost all kinds of elementary respect right there in that moment. It was a wrap for you.
Yo, I had the greatest story of when my middle school bully, and I love middle school. Middle school is when I came into my own, right? Because elementary school, I was for sure, I was like the leader of all my friend groups in the neighborhood, but not at school. I wasn't shit at school.
That's why them dudes in Austin didn't. They knew you led before.
Yeah. I wasn't
they
shit.
They could smell it.
But I wasn't shit at school.
Yeah.
I wasn't cool. I just was the funny nigga that would do some crazy shit if you dared me to.
You were like the cool guy who wasn't popular.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Middle school, 7th grade to be particular is when it hit.
Yeah.
6th grade, I was still trying to find my way. Once I hit 7th grade, it was like the girls were like, him. Me? It was like, yeah, from that point on, I was good.
You like this?
Me?
You like this?
But I remember in middle school, it was a white boy that was the bully.
Yeah.
And one day, early into the school year, because he did martial arts, and he was martial art, and everybody was getting front snap kicks to the stomach and shit.
God damn.
Yeah, he wasn't playing around.
He needs to be shot.
He was sick, like he was really sick,
Like,
and he
health?
shouldn't have been at school. Yeah, he shouldn't have been at school.
I'm over here wishing him to get clapped.
And it was the last period of class too, right?
Yeah.
He shouldn't have been at school. And he kept asking the teacher, Mr. Gauthier, can I go to the bathroom? Mr. Gauthier was kind of a prick, and he was like, no, you can wait
Yeah.
until I get a little bit of the, teaching done, and towards the end of class, you can go.
Yeah.
He had to go.
This kid was holding it in.
Finally, he was waiting, put his hands up. Mr. Gauthier was like, go ahead, go. So this motherfucker leaves. He comes back like, he was gone for like maybe 48 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And then he comes back. The bathroom is down the fucking hallway. And I remember when he came in, it was like,
Man, this fool went outside the door.
dog, I was like, damn, that was fast.
Yeah.
He sits down, and I'm like,
Ooh.
Kevin, did you fart? And he was like, yeah, I farted. I'm like, man, that's fucking gross, bro. Couple seconds
What was
later,
his name?
Kevin, of course.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Here we go.
was like-
Had to be.
Damn, this smell ain't going away.
Yeah.
Like, bro, did you fart again? Yeah. I was like, man, stop doing that shit.
Nah, man, that man put that work in.
Next thing you know, knock on the door. Miss Dillard comes in the room.
Mm.
She whispers something to Mr. Gauthier, and he rears back. Like, what the fuck? And they start looking around, and they're like, hey, I went to the bathroom before him.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it wasn't me. It was Sharice. And he was like, hey, who just went to the bathroom? A couple hands went up. Sharice, come here. He calls Sharice up. He whispers something in her ear, and she goes, no.
Not me.
And it was like, who else just went to the bathroom? And they called Kev. And he's like, Kev, come here. Kev gets up. He's walking over there. I'm looking.
Oh, this man got the...
Something on his... He whispers something to Kevin, and Kevin's like, no. But something is sliding down his leg. And I'm putting two and two together, and I'm like, hey, yo, Kev, it's coming down your leg, bro. And he looks, and then he gets embarrassed, and he leaves. This nigga was so sick. He walked out the door, and he knew he wasn't going to make it. Just took his pants down and shit right there at the door.
Damn.
So I don't know if you remember back in the days what they had to do in this situation when somebody threw up.
Yeah, the powder shit.
The custodians would put the wood chips.
It's the lime shit.
The potpourri wood chips
Yeah.
over the shit. Oh my god!
They used to use what is it? Is it like a not limestone powder, like some kind of powder that smells heavily like lime?
But ours was like ammonia.
Okay.
So they would put like ammonia wood chips over whatever it was, and it would only make it like 10 times worse. He didn't come to school for the next 4 days. I might have committed suicide if I were him. But nobody was ever, like, you could never be the bully again, because as soon as you talk shit, like, man, shut up before you shit yourself again.
Yeah.
He was done. Let me tell you, the worst and greatest story that ever happened to me in school, right?
That ever happened.
And I had a lot of adventures, but this was like a fucking movie, dude. To this day, when I tell the story, like, I still fucking feel it, right?
Yeah.
So I got some cologne for my birthday. British Sterling, right? My mom was selling, what's the shit that you sell? Was it Mary Kay?
Oh, the brand?
Yeah, my mom was selling Mary Kay. And that was a hustle back then for women. And she got this men's cologne that she couldn't sell, so she gave it to me. This is like my sophomore year.
Yeah.
She gave me some British Sterling. Of course, there's a couple girls I like in school. I put on some British Sterling. I go in there. Everybody in the hallways Oh, you smell good. I got about at least 3 or 4 of those. And then it was like, why would you tell me that? What do my dumb ass do? I go back to the bathroom and I fucking bathe in this shit, right?
Oh,
Listen to me, fool.
you let it get to your head.
I did. So I come into the classroom and I sit closest to the wall and the window. The teacher's office is right here, and there's just rows and rows and rows, and then here's the door.
Yeah.
I sit down, class is about to start. I knew on the first cough that I had fucked up.
Oh, no, that's when you know.
It was different. That nigga went. And I was like, oh, shit.
Like, what have I done?
He starts coughing.
Yeah.
The nigga in front of him starts coughing. The nigga behind me starts coughing. The nigga in front of that guy starts coughing. And then it starts to spread. To the people that's in a row besides us, they start coughing. At this point, I'm sinking in my seat like, oh my God.
You know what you done.
Dog, it's flooding to each fucking row of kids. And I'm just sitting there like a fucking bioweapon, right?
Yeah.
Until finally the teacher was like, Who has that on? Who has that on? Everybody points to me at the same fucking time.
Damn. And you had hair back then.
Bro. Teacher's like, let up them weapons. Let up them windows. Everybody, open the windows. Open the windows.
I'm about to say, weapons in your class is crazy.
Mr. Phoenix, go wash that off right now. Me. You already know I can't just...
Wash it off.
No, I can't just take that. The embarrassment was too fucking thick. I could not take it. So what do? I do what Kai does. Shit. You motherfuckers... See, this is man shit. That's the problem. See, y'all used to that. Y'all, I'm saying this as I'm backing out the fucking, like, going towards the door.
You
See,
trying to be the cool guy.
Y'all used to that fucking kid shit. See, that's your problem. Y'all ain't used to that man shit. This is man shit. That's the problem. I'm embarrassing myself.
I see, yeah.
So much. And everybody's just looking at us like, he's just looking at me like, yo, just go. And the girl that I had a crush on was like, just go wash it off.
Yeah.
Oh, that shit hurt.
That one's the one that stung.
Oh, that shit hurt so bad. Just go wash it off. This is man shit. That's your problem. Nigga, I walked out the door. I shut the door and I just put my back against the door like, oh my God, I can't believe this shit happened to me.
You got to drop out of school.
I went to the bathroom and I just stayed there.
Didn't come back.
Fuck it. I get my backpack later. I'll go to my next class late. Fuck it. And that's what I did. I waited, and then when I went out to go get my backpack, because, you know, bell rung and
Yeah.
everybody's going to the fucking hallway is fumigated. People are still coughing and shit like that. I was just like, man, should I just go home or should I just fucking kill myself right here in the school?
Well, glad you didn't. You had a lot to offer to the world.
It's terrible, bro.
Everybody got to go through their embarrassment.
That shit
moments.
hurt. That shit was like a movie, dog.
What is now that we there, what are like whether it's an embarrassing moment during your childhood or in front of a girl, whatever the case may be.
Some of these stories I don't want to tell though. They're so embarrassing, dog.
Dude, I feel you on that. I don't know if some are embarrassing, but like I think some of the shit that I hate is that when you find out later that like maybe a girl you did have a crush on, she was feeling you.
No, I don't like that shit.
And you didn't know that.
I don't like that shit.
Or they didn't let it be known, and then you find out years later when it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't like that shit.
That shit would piss me off.
Don't tell me, man. Don't tell me that shit.
Somebody told me that shit.
Because as a teenager, I spent about, for the girls that we did like and didn't get,
yeah,
you spent years like fucking fantasizing like, what if?
Investing time.
Don't tell me that shit.
Bro, there was...
I done long past gone to a whole nother school. Niggas are grown up. I'm still thinking about you. And then we gonna become adults when you're not the same person.
Yeah,
and be like, well, I had a crush. Shut the fuck up, nigga.
No.
You fat bitch.
I don't want you now. No, I got told once, like, this might have been like 5 years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And somebody from like grade school had said they got back in touch with me. And we're just chopping it up, right? And I don't know if they were out and about. It was a little bit late in the evening, so I don't know if they were drinking, so they started feeling like honest. And they're like, blah, blah, blah. Started kind of saying like, like, I really liked you. And, I wish we had something going on. Don't ever tell me that shit. Why are you telling me this shit right now? And I was really bothered. I was disturbed.
Y'all, that shit, don't tell me, bro. I don't like that shit.
You know how many years I thought about this shit?
My nigga. Tell me this just isn't me.
There's
right?
only a few girls that can cause that.
Tell me this isn't just me.
Sure.
Have you run into several versions of a person?
Yes.
Not just looks, but personality-wise.
Yes.
It's like the same person, just like variants, like Marvel variants.
But in another body.
Yeah, I've ran into like so many different variants of somebody that I had a crush on to where it's like when I fuck this person, it feels like I fucked that person.
Imagine all of them together.
Is there a multiverse?
There might be.
You know what I'm saying?
There could be.
I have experienced some variants to the point where
somebody's
it's like,
doing this to you.
to the point where it's like, I may not get you, but I get something like you. I know it.
Something gotta come.
I've seen so many variants of women that it's like,
maybe, like for example, how they say you got a type, right?
yeah,
Look at all the ones you go after. They are very similar.
I'll get a version of
It's
you.
the same shit. It's another version.
Yep. That's fucking crazy to
It
just be
is.
like, I'll fuck one of your variants. Don't worry about it. I was Doctor
Yo.
Strange like a motherfucker.
Yo, I've actually had some people say like minding my business. We talking about completely different subject, right?
Yeah.
And they'll be like I guess a specific type of woman will walk by, and they'll be like, "Oh, that's your type," because they've caught they know
Which is no good.
what they think I like.
Yeah, that's
I'm
no
like,
good.
just because she has the qualities and some of the
Yeah, but
features.
you also don't want niggas to have anything either. They could be right, but
No,
like, I'm not gonna let you have this
That's-
shit.
when the homies pointed out, that don't make a big deal to me. That don't matter.
Okay.
It's when another woman points it out, and I'm like, "You just mad because you ain't getting pointed out.
Like, you don't,
You just mad because it ain't you."
you don't know me, nigga.
Hey, no, you got to play that role of like, man, you don't know shit. But in reality, it's like, damn, man, she got a spot on.
Shit. I remember in my 20s, my best friend, I had a best friend that was my homegirl, Jenna. She had a rule. She was like, don't fuck none of my friends. I don't like it.
Why would anyone like it?
Let's fuck like 7 of her friends.
Hey, yo, I mean, hey, does this rule start now?
It got weird because she established the rule.
Yeah.
And for the ones that I did take down, as soon as I met them,
Yo, take down.
I did. For her friends that I did take down, as soon as I met them, we knew. Every one of her friends that I took down, it happened the very next day.
Damn.
Every fucking time. We'd go out, we'd chill.
Salute to that.
Bro, in my 20s, I was a beast.
This man got game.
Every time I met one of her friends, it was like, you know the vibe. So we just be like, yep, this is definitely going down. I didn't expect it to go down, but usually it just was like, if I fuck around and get your number or anything, or find out where you live or something like that, it's going down.
Answer me this. This is, it's a real question. And this has happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
You meet a particular person, right? At some point in time, right? And let's say y'all talk, y'all do what y'all, anything that has to do with potential relationship or relationship shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's going out, drinking together, sexual shit, all that shit that comes with it, right?
Okay.
And then that happens, cool. Years pass. And, you're minding your business, you meet somebody else. Come to find out, she ended up being friends with this person, too. But you didn't know that. You weren't thinking about that. Neither was she.
Sure.
Until that one girl finds out that she had interest in you. Oh, I'm going to let it be known. Territorial 5 years later type shit.
I've never been in that situation, honestly, because it's game tight. You know what that means?
Game tight?
Game tight.
What was your meaning?
I'm that dude that was always.
Oh,
even with my friend, like I just
let's put that on the table right now. You must relate to this then. And people always talk to me crazy about it whenever they try to question me about it. They, when anybody ever says like, "Oh, what's your count?" or have you ever so and so or done this and that with so and so? And I'm like, yo, don't ask me questions like that. I don't speak on that shit.
I don't run my mouth.
Yeah, I don't talk. I'm quiet.
Oh, nigga. But to tell you the
If
truth,
anyone finds out about an interaction, a private interaction behind closed doors between me and so, I know it doesn't come from me.
nigga,
You know what I'm saying?
have you ever? And most guys do this, so I don't know if you did it. Well, have done this in their life.
Well, let's hear it.
Did you ever write a list?
No.
Okay. I know a couple dudes, including myself, who would write out their list of all that we could remember.
Yeah.
I wrote out a list of all that I could remember, and their nationality, their ethnicity.
Ethnicities and shit like that. Yeah.
When I started going out with my wife, she found my list.
Yo.
She tried. She act like she didn't know what it was, but your name was on it. You ain't stupid. So I recognized that she was trying to act like she didn't know what it was, but she knew.
She knew what it
Man,
was.
that shit was fucking embarrassing, bro.
I believe it.
But nah, that's how I always work like that. I was the dude that was like,
That's like sending the wrong text to a girl.
for sure.
That's
And
right there.
I've done that.
And the same
but
shit.
I played it off so fucking well.
Oh,
dog.
you have to. I mean,
But listen,
you're there now.
No, nigga. Me and my homeboy was talking about one that we wanted to knock down. We both wanted to, but I got her, right?
Mhm.
And yo, this was some fuckboy days, right? So she sent me.
Those stopped.
She sent me, yeah. So she sent me some nudes and shit. I meant to send them to him. I sent them back to
Yo.
So she knew that I was sending them somewhere, but I sent them back to her. I played that shit off. I forgot how I did it, but it worked. But I was like, oh my gosh. I could never do that shit again. But I kept I was the nigga that women love because I'm not gonna say shit.
Yeah.
Nothing. We could be doing this shit for months. Like we're within the same friend circle or we
Of course.
work at the same place. When I go there, I'm gonna act like
Regular.
you would never know. You would never fucking, if you don't say nothing, nobody's ever gonna know.
This goes to the
Game tight.
and I want to let this be known because a multitude of people could be listening to this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to say, at least from my behalf, look, whatever we do, if we ever have that type of interaction with each other, that stays here. Now, if you choose to go and do the girl thing and go like share with your
That's on
homegirls,
you.
just know this information I know for a fact doesn't come from me.
I'm
and-
game tight.
Exactly. And I've always prided myself on that because that's the only way to know for a fact that if some news ever got out, it wasn't from you.
Yep.
It's not one of your people. It's not one of your family members, nothing like that. It came from the other side.
That's the one thing you can know about me is that I'm a safe.
Yeah.
For sure. Plus, I done fucked up some situations, man. Like life lessons taught me not to.
Don't you think there's shit that we didn't want to tell people
I don't fuck
and
within
share
the,
with people, but
I don't
we
fuck
know.
within the same circle.
But we know that we're safe.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, there's people who
And
For-
I do.
for
Shit
example-
I want to say.
For example, I've had I've gone on dates and certain women are like, "Oh, how come you didn't post something about like what we were doing, us and whatever?" And I was all like, "I don't do that stuff." And the question was, and not that I have this this answer lined up, but I was just like, they questioned why, like why is that? They're like, "Are you embarrassed or whatever?" I was like, "Why would I be embarrassed?" I was like, "The fact is that." Let's say I did post us, right? We posted, whether it's an Instagram story, whatever. Cool. But I'll be real. I don't know if this is going to continue.
Facts.
This is the first date.
Facts.
Do I know, I'm not that dude who brings the new girlfriend to the house every holiday party, every birthday
Nope.
party. I'm not that dude. I don't want to start posting shit till I feel comfortable and feel it's official. Now, if we're in dating stages or even first date, I'm not posting you.
Well, thankfully, I didn't.
That's crazy.
I didn't come up. Our social media wasn't really like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it was definitely
No, in our time, no, it was not.
was ours. It was ours, and MySpace etiquette was way different.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
It was way
People
different.
would MySpace era.
It was
People weren't
awesome.
doing this type
it
of
was
shit.
awesome. That shit was super private. And the only time we met out in public was to meet for the first time because we had been, you know how it was. MySpace was going crazy. All of these private conversations and shit like that. And we only went to the club to meet that person for the first time and then smash afterwards.
We became coding specialists back then.
My nigga. I
You
was
know what I'm
a
saying?
coder for sure.
Bro,
dog.
I was the
I should have been
ultimate coder.
somebody's MIT.
Bro, I thought I was like technology advanced level specialist.
But
I thought I was somebody.
what's ours is what's ours.
Yeah, we'll never see a time like that again. One thing I will say is
No,
That-
everything
that-
is too social media. right now.
I'm never like, for example, people say like, you ever do online dating sites and shit like that? I'm like, no, never. Never do the apps, never do none of that shit.
Unless they're one of those private POF shits.
What I do is I never go and intentionally go to a site for that because in the past on social media it's happened. Yes, you met somebody, maybe social media. You might live in the same city, so you kind of, eventually you're gonna cross paths and you find out this person's dope. This person's cool. She's fly. She's attractive. The person, all that shit that comes with it that you like. You find that. But I didn't go trying to hunt for it. It just stumbled.
You know what? What I discovered is that the social media stuff, you'll find your relationship. The dating sites, you're fucking.
Guaranteed.
You're
That's what
trying
you're
to
looking
find
for.
somebody to be in a relationship. It winds up turning into a fuck site.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So whereas social media, we used to meet people and then you fuck around and wind up in a relationship or something like that.
Exactly.
But yeah, I learned all my lessons early to just keep my mouth shut and not run my mouth because I lost some opportunities. I remember I had a
Ooh.
crush on a chick so.
You're right about that.
Yep, I had a chick crush on a chick so daggone bad, and they were all within the same circle. And this was before I had taught myself my rule that I don't mess with chicks within the same circle. Me and my brother were messing within the
It
circle.
can become problematic.
I
Yeah.
wanted her. It was hard to get to her. On the way to her, I knocked down one of the friends. That was forgivable.
Yes.
But then on the way to her, I knocked down like the ugliest friend in the group. Not only is that too, but that's the ugly friend. And she was like, nah, you're wildin'. And that cost me her.
That almost made it look like
Yo, you'll just do anything.
You'll do anything.
And the worst part about it
you
is
lived up to the term like you'll fuck anything
boy.
with legs.
Fuck boy, for sure. You've already messed with two friends within the circle, and you're smashing this. Nah, you'll do anything. And it fucked me up because I didn't even want to smash her. Bro, this is one of the...
You're like, she wanted me.
Listen, bro. Listen, this is the worst situation ever, right? Not only that, but
Yeah.
the one that I wanted lived around the corner from me. And when I say around the corner, I mean
Like around the block.
3 houses.
Shit.
She's right there, right? Now, several of us lived within the same neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the ugly friend, nobody wanted her. She was ugly, but she was like thick.
Mm-hmm.
For like that in the early 2000s, we were still trying to understand what thick was. I just knew that I was
That wasn't
really
the
attracted.
full wave yet.
Nah,
Yeah.
it wasn't the full wave yet. Beyonce and J-Lo were just starting to come into their thing.
That was the thickness at the time.
We just knew that when it came to the curvy to big girls, Kai was going to get them. For some reason, that was my swerve. While everybody else got you can have your Aaliyahs.
Well, I mean, you
The
look like that's what
thicker,
you like.
chubby ones, well, I was black and skinny, so I fit right into that program. I just knew I liked curvy,
you
right?
fit the profile. Yeah.
She was double D's and all that shit like that. I was in a drought. To all my niggas who know what that is, I was in a drought, right? And she called me. Couldn't have been the most perfect time. I was in need. So I was like, fuck it, yeah, come over.
I need
Listen,
you.
come over. This is what made me mad, right? I already don't want to fuck you, right? I already don't want to fuck. She calls me. I tell her, come on, just come over. She comes over. You knew you was coming over.
Mm-hmm.
You knew for the purposes of what you were coming over for.
Sure.
Ain't
There was an arrangement.
We're going to get right to it. I got to go pick up my little brother in a second.
No
so,
games being played.
Man. And she was light-skinned too. I started taking down her jeans. Her ass was ashy than a motherfucker.
How's your ass get ashy?
That's my point. You knew you was coming over here.
Ooh. Like
I already don't
the
want to
dust
do
was-
this, and then I'm just
the
pulling
dust
the
will shoot
pants
up in
down.
the air?
First of all, do you know how much it takes for a light-skinned person to be that ashy?
That's wild, yo. I've never seen that before.
I'm already mad. I don't want to do this, but you knew you was coming over, and you coming over like this.
But you still win.
I still
we
did
here.
it.
We here now. Hey,
I did not enjoy myself, and that's what cost me.
You know what you
the
could
girl.
have? You could have done. You know what, girl? Let's take it slow, man. Put a little lotion on you.
I didn't have that kind of time. I had to pick up my little brother.
Just squirt the baby oil at her. Here, oil yourself up.
I was already mad. Let's just get this shit over with. I need this. And then it cost me the chick that I wanted. That shit fucks me up even to this day.
You know, maybe
dog.
that might be the shit that people don't talk about the most or enough is the negative bad moments that they've had.
Well, you know, social media is never going to show you the negatives.
Nah, man, maybe it's
But
about
yeah.
that time.
To this day, that shit fucked me up. That shit cost me her.
You know what? This is the part where we do dumbass shit sometimes as men. Is that I've probably done the same where I've like, you know, maybe I messed with somebody I shouldn't have. And that could have changed the whole dynamic of how something would have turned out. You live and learn, man. At the end of the day, you know, I probably, if I had to say I lost opportunity for some great ones, or maybe not, great's high standard. Let's just say good, because I don't know what it would have been like. But potential good ones out there that I lost opportunity on, I did. Based on stupidity.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of shit that I regret. Like some of the stuff like I understand, right? I had one that we weren't officially in a relationship, but we had a real deep connection. She was older than me, and she already had 2 children.
Mm-hmm. Shit, been there.
And I was, you know, I'm younger, so when it started to get close, I started like, I don't want to be nobody like stepdad or something like that. I shied away.
I don't think people understand the complexity of what our thought process is when you know that you could potentially father people who are not your children.
They're older, yeah, and they're
Not
older
that it's
kids.
not something
like,
you can't do.
You're not dealing with babies. You're dealing with.
Kids who are already established.
You know what I'm saying?
They have thoughts.
So it's like
It's crazy. You didn't create this. You didn't shoot this in her belly.
I didn't. So that's what made me shy away, and it was like, damn, that person really, really fucking loved me,
Yeah.
and I couldn't do it.
You know, it's also different when, you know, there's certain women who don't give a shit who comes around who they bring around their kids. But the one that you know that is very protective and she trusted you to bring you around, those might be some special women.
Man, I lost out on one because she was very protective about who she brought around her kids.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like squeamish about bringing me around her son.
Yeah.
And it just was like, damn, what the fuck was I doing back then? I know I was young and in rapper mode, but I couldn't have been that fucking crazy.
But did it make you feel like you wanted to be allowed to be around?
Yeah, for
Did you
sure.
have that
I don't think I was a bad person.
But did you think that because it's almost like the term where people say like, I'm a butcher the term, but basically it's where you want what you can't have or what you're not allowed to have. So it's bothering you.
Yeah, I think that's that's like the nigger thing. It's like,
Why?
Hold on.
I think that's the everybody thing for sure.
check the parallel.
You didn't have to ER it.
No, what I'm saying is, like, white people don't like the fact that we won't allow them to say it.
Mm-hmm.
And you just be like, why do you want to say it?
Mm-hmm.
And they don't want to say it. They just don't want you to tell them that they can't
They don't want to not be allowed.
because they don't have any rules. If you think about it like this, black people literally have one rule. One rule that we will enforce. We won't enforce consistently
Mm-hmm.
any other rules. We got one rule. Don't say nigger if you're white. One. And that's the big controversy because that's the one that we are willing to enforce. They don't want to say it. They just don't want you because they're not used to people telling them what they can't do.
That's fair.
A lot of times it just be like, I'll get into a discussion and they're like, I just don't know why I can't. And I'm like, well, why do you want to? And you could literally see it in their face to the where like,
Well,
I don't
want to.
I don't want to say it. I just don't want you telling me that I can't say
That goes. I don't know if it's real, but it was like a news thing. But that one dude, it was I don't know his name, but he was black.
it. Delroy Lindo.
You know, yes, okay. And he's telling him, he's like,
Yeah,
"Let's-
just say
he's
it.
like, I say it with you.
Just say
I
it.
say it with you. He's like, no, we can't
And
say
that's
that. He's
exactly
like,
what it is.
I'll say it with you. Yo, when his voice dropped down to I'll say it with you, I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that is different.
No, that's it. That's what it is. It's like
Yeah.
I don't want to say it. I just don't like you telling me that I can't
Yeah.
because I'm not used to any rules.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else has any fucking
Well,
rules.
it's like that. That's like that mistake I had when we send each other a lot of bullshit videos, right?
Yeah.
And then I was like, yo, I think this white dude just said like the N word in the fucking
He did.
in his song. And you pointed that out. I went back and listened. I was like, oh, okay. I think it
That's the new thing.
happened so fast.
Yeah.
But I was like,
It's the sensation.
people are finding other words to substitute.
Dog, it's
Because
like
they want to.
it's like-
oh no, maybe they don't want to, but they're not allowed to say something. But they're going to replace it. They're going to make sure they find a way to still say something close.
it's the sensation. It's like when you're trying to quit smoking.
You got to replace it with something.
You got to replace it with something because I still need.
Still
It's
need
not
it.
even the smoke. It's just that I'm used to taking a break and I have the habit, and this sensation is relaxing.
Yeah.
So they still miss that. You got to replace it with something.
And that's what
And if you can replace the sensation, and then they can get over it.
and that's what I noticed some of these white rappers are doing, I guess.
Neighbor.
Yeah. Like Neighbor. That was news to me. I didn't know that part.
Yeah, that's new.
And I was like, oh, so saying my neighbor in a record.
Ninja, neighbor.
Ninja. No, that one's been, that
Ninja's
one's
really
been there.
close, so that's for the daring. But neighbor is
Or like the what's that one rapper? He's not even a real rapper. I think he was just a YouTube dude who just made a rap song that just blew up. And he was something Chigga, his name was.
I don't know.
But I think he said they would say my Chigga in the song.
Yeah.
And I was like, you want to say that?
And I told you it's our fault. We made it the thing, bro.
Yeah.
It is the thing.
You know, this is why I always say, and I don't speak on this much, but people like they don't really acknowledge enough on how influential Black culture is.
Black culture. Dog, it's very simple. American culture is literally just the relationship
Mm-hmm.
between the dominant society and Black culture. That's it. Everything. Like if you go to the root of every little thing, there's something that happened earlier. Catchphrases, just anything deals with that relationship.
Sure.
The entirety of American culture is either about the relationship
Of course.
or is Black culture in general. And then they just took it and then they made their own thing out of it. Literally every music genre is Black culture.
Mm-hmm.
Literally. Punk rock, techno, you name it, that's us. Disco, that's us. Blues, rock and roll, that's us. Ska, that's us.
I have a question though.
Uh-huh.
The
Country, that's us.
of course, me, even with my brief musical background,
Mm-hmm.
I never, of course, you know, the way I view music is like, yo, if you can make super dope music, then do it, right?
Sure.
And I just think as long as you're respecting each other and you're just trying to dedicate and do what you can for your craft, you should do it. Nothing should stop you and hold you back, right? And of course, I'm a fan of a multitude of genres, right? So, like, you know, I express a lot on this show.
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of 70s, 80s music. Of course, a lot of white guys, but a lot of guys from overseas. They're not even like American white.
Right.
They're like European guys, you know, people from overseas like that. And I appreciate all these different styles of music because they've, you know, a lot of these guys, especially back in the day, developed such classics, such memorable, like longevity style music that even from the 70s and 80s, we don't even realize how long ago that was now. We're pushing on 40, some of them 50 years
Dog,
already.
The 80s is about to be, I don't even want to say it, fool.
Yeah,
It's about to be 50 years.
exactly. And so what
That's crazy.
what I'm saying is that, like, I always have an appreciation. This is why I say
time is
that
time is funny.
I don't pay attention to color in a sense.
Uh-huh.
Because I've always been open to everything. Like, when I've had people say like, "Oh, you probably only date like Mexican women,"
Mhm.
and I'm like, "No, I love like all kinds of women. Like if you are, whether you're attractive or you have a super dope personality, like I want to be around that.
Right.
Like that makes me feel good, feel comfortable type shit." I was like, it didn't matter if you was black, if you was white,
Just your
Middle
vibe.
Eastern,
It's your vibe.
Asian. It doesn't matter. Like I was basing a lot of my choice making on who I want to be around based on
The
vibes
interaction. Yep.
and interaction. And so same thing with the music. I appreciated like various styles of music, and it didn't matter who was what. But if somebody ever asked me like, "Yo, where did that stem from?" If I knew it was black culture, then I would say that.
That's the only issue. The only issue is because in America,
Yes.
we have an issue with they were taking and not giving credit. So credit is the problem.
Oh, of course, that's different.
Credit
Yes.
is the problem.
I agree with that.
If you just state what it was,
We'd be fine.
yeah, I got inspired by such and such and such and such and such and such. No problem.
That's one of the reasons. And it's funny because my friend just shot me a text right now, and he said that he tapped into the Eminem album, the new whatever he just dropped, and it was
Really?
dope or something.
Really?
And he doesn't really.
Somebody's listening to Eminem?
Well, he doesn't listen to Eminem like that. That's why I was like, if he said it, I was like, I might take a chance to listen to it. My decision still needs to be made when I listen to it, if I listen to it. But that was one thing that sometimes bothered me because people would really attack Eminem for, his whiteness. And I was just like,
Sure. That's
And I-
going to happen.
and I was like, well, I never cared about his whiteness. I just like, if you was making something cool at the time, something dope at the time, and you was coming from nothing and ended up being something, then cool.
See, anything that is the thing about Eminem, the thing that makes him special is that it's not the fact that he was white.
Mm-hmm.
It's that he was doper than a lot of people.
Of course.
That's where you're gonna. You know what I'm saying? Nobody
just-
gave a shit about Bill Laimbeer. They care about Bird because Bird was fucking the niggas up.
Yeah. No,
we ain't seen nothing like that.
See, that's my thing is I appreciated what he was doing. And not only that, but like, at least from what I saw, I always saw respect for the culture. I always saw a student of the game.
And you see that even the comparison of those two were always respectful. Like
Yeah.
Bird took it offensive if you put a white person on him.
Yeah.
Here we go. Look, nah, you better put a
somebody
brother.
else.
You better put a because he recognized
The skill set.
he still was better than most. There was
Yeah.
only maybe 2 or 3 people in the NBA
Better.
that were better. He was literally better than everybody else, but even he always gave respect. He really could have let Isaiah Thomas' career die,
Sure.
but he stepped in and he covered down. Bird is good with us forever.
Mm-hmm.
Eminem from the get-go was always respectful.
I think my point is
So he was always good with
I don't
us.
like people getting unnecessarily attacked just because you was born a certain way.
Well, you know where this is going to take us, right?
No, it can. But I'm saying
Let's get into it.
but just to be like just to make that part clear, like just because you're good at something, I don't think you need to be attacked.
No, you don't need to
Because
be
of your
attacked,
color.
but you got to understand that anything new is going to be an issue for people because it's not what they're used to. So everybody's going to have an opinion on something because they've never seen it before. Anytime something comes that hasn't been seen before is going to jolt people in a certain way.
Bro,
The first time I heard
I
Eminem,
hate that shit.
the first time I heard Eminem
Yeah.
sound bombing. Oh, 1999 was a great year. It was sound bombing. 1999. A Ruckus Records mixtape, and Ruckus was putting out Mos Def, Talib Kweli, Common, all of those dope dudes. And I was an underground head. So this motherfucker on this record is crazy. Who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
He sounds like a crazier Cannabis.
Yeah.
We didn't know he was white. We just know that motherfucker.
You just
is-
heard.
Yeah, he was like, ew. This nigga might be one of the greatest I've ever heard in my life. Who the fuck was that guy? When you found out he was white, it was like, what?
It was crazy. Even for me.
It was it was jolting.
Bro, even the first time I heard Eminem. 'Cause
Yeah.
mind you, I do feel like I might have said this several times too on the show, but I feel like I did get into rap late because I didn't grow up on rap. My parents they don't listen to rap. They listen to the oldies. They, a lot of,
Yeah.
they come from Spanish culture. So a lot of Spanish music was played in the household. A lot of like the old school 70s, 80s, even disco shit was played in my household.
Yeah.
And so for me to get introduced to rap had to be by going to school, friends, right?
That's how it works.
And that's how it happened. But it happened late on, right? So when it did happen, yeah, of course, like I'm starting to hear people, I'm hearing who was out in the early 2000s.
There was a lot.
Name a few. And
There was a lot. But if we're just talking about
Yeah, but
Eminem,
just
if
name,
we're
just
talking
name
about
a few between.
all right, let's just talk about
2000,
Eminem.
2004.
Let's just talk about Eminem. The Marshall Mathers LP came out.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's going to lead up to that.
2004.
But name some other shit that was hot between 2000 and 2002.
The Clips, 50 Cent, Kanye West, Diplomats.
Exactly. So all those names was rap for me. That was rap. Minus excluding, not excluding, but like minus the local or like Texas style rap that also emerged around that time, right?
Yeah.
And so all that shit was rap to me.
Or reached its
None
zenith.
of those guys were white. So whenever Eminem came out, and now when you get cable, I didn't get cable till I was in fucking high school.
Mm-hmm.
So now I get to see how everyone really looks like. You know what I'm saying? And so I get cable, and I'm like, this is Eminem. Like when I first heard him, I might have heard him like on a CD or some shit.
You heard Marshall Mathers LP.
Yes,
And that hit like a fucking atom
But when I'm
bomb.
hearing this shit, I'm like, who is this guy?
Dude.
Like, this guy is rapping like no other right now. And then I see how he looks like, and I'm like, whoa.
It's shocking.
And what I don't give a fuck if this shows my age or not. But at that time, I was mind blown. I was like, yo, this is a white dude doing this shit.
No, that's how it was.
Weird.
Dog, I remember when I was in high school, LimeWire was at its finest.
Oh no. I was
was on LimeWire.
I fucked up computers with that.
Dog, I was on LimeWire. I remember being in school
Yeah.
on LimeWire in computer class. And the only thing I was looking for was instrumentals to rap on and fucking Eminem. That's it. That's it. Because Eminem was like putting out early snippets of Marshall Mathers. And we were like, yo. And when that Marshall Mathers album came out, that shit hit like a fucking atom bomb.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It was different.
He was different, bro.
Now, I'll get credit when it's due. And, like I said, was it surprising that the dude was in the complexion that he was in?
Mhm.
Of course it was. I can't lie. I don't care you don't have to be white, black, Asian, nothing to not understand or realize that this shit is different because the dude is white.
That would
We
But he's
can
not just
acknowledge that.
he wasn't just different. He was greatness. And Marshall Mathers was his magnum opus.
Yeah.
So when he came with Stan, when he came with Kim, we have never heard anything like that before. That shit was fucking intense.
Yeah.
That shit, like the first time you ever heard Kim, I don't know if you remember that shit where he kills his
I have to go back and listen.
when he kills his girl
Yeah.
and puts her in a oh my gosh. And Stan for the first time, it was we ain't never heard nothing like this now.
And people, people always said like, this dude's fucking insane, crazy, lunatic. And I was like, no, I think that he was speaking. He might have really had these thoughts in his mind. He sounds like a person who really came from, having these thoughts. Not that he's really going to do any of it, but all that shit was just getting put to the pin.
You know what it is that you just don't know because I was in tune with him since 99, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've been listening to him since Sound Bobbing and then you started getting some of the footage on him.
Yeah.
When he was doing freestyles and stuff, but you don't know what people have in them.
Of course.
That dude that was doing freestyle battles can't be the same dude that made the Marshall Mathers LP because that shit was theatrical. It was artistic.
Yeah.
You never know what somebody has in them. You know what I'm saying?
You realize whenever it's time to tap into that,
yeah, you realize, oh,
can it be done?
That shit expounded my imagination of like, okay, nobody is just born to do one thing. You know what I'm saying? And if you think this person is just this, wait till they show you this. And not to mention the stuff that he brought with him in his wake. He brought Royce the 5'9", who is like one of my personal. I like Royce better than I like Eminem.
Bro, Royce. I saw Royce the 5'9" when he came down like what 2017 maybe 2016. It was a long time ago now, I remember a handful of us decided to go out together. And mind you, when I go to these shows, like whether, whatever performances they are, whether it's, big arena shows or local venues, I don't always go with a handful of people like the way we went to Royce's. I think Mozzie was there. I don't remember if Nemo was there, but there was a handful of other people who used to hang out with us who were all in attendance. We all went together.
You said 2007 or 2017?
2017, I think.
Okay.
And
oh shit, he was on a run too.
Yeah, he had just dropped an album, I think. And we were all there. Some of our friends performed there. Shout out to E-Twist. E-Twist performed there. And we was all there. There was some other, like, early on, I think Cheryl, who they have a podcast here in the city, too.
Yeah.
I think they run one of the overnight radio stations here.
Okay.
So they were all there. I had never met any of these people. And I was there. I remember I was minding my business. I'm like, yo, I'm just excited to be able to witness 5ix9ine, do his thing. And I remember I was like, yo, this is fucking crazy because he was performing all the songs that we fucking knew. Like, some of the Eminem collaborations he was performing, right? And I was like, yo, this guy is like, you could tell why his relationship with Eminem is the way it was.
Behind the guy.
Yes. And I was like, yo. And of course, I like Royce 5ix9ine more than Eminem. Well, I know he's not as successful, but they were like, yo, that's a unit. These are boys right here. And I can see why they're friends. And I remember, even being there and just being able to witness this shit. And mind you, some of these people who I had never seen who live here in the city, they were like, oh, Star, like, pleasure to meet you, blah, blah, blah. And I was still zoned out at the fact of, like, I'm just thinking about how this performance went. Because this was after the show.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yo, it's nice to meet everybody, because
it just makes you...
But
up your shit, bro.
It also it reminded me of what you said before about like how sometimes we're known here to a certain extent in our own cities, and I was just like that. I didn't realize at the time was a moment where people knew your face, even though you didn't know them, and you didn't think much of it at the time. Now that I look back at it, I'm just like, damn, maybe we was making enough noise to where people you never met before like approach you and they just like, they like to acknowledge who you are.
People know, they just don't feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Man, Royce was like an obsession for like years. I felt like in like 2000, I was the only person in the city, like 2004, 2005. It was like I was always going to Best Buy looking for the next Royce project to see if he dropped something like that. My first song that was like noticeable when I got with Vanda was off of a Royce the 9 joint. It was a song called Little Man that everybody knew me by.
Yeah.
And I just was trying to match his energy and shit like that. And shit, that's where Mozzie and them first heard me, was like, everybody was like, who the fuck is that? And niggas didn't know who the beat was and stuff like that. I felt like I was the only person who knew who Royce the 5ix9ine was.
Yeah.
This was 2004. You know what I'm saying? And I was just obsessing over that shit. So, I mean, it's a shame to see where it's not. It's a natural course of a career, but it's kind of weird to see where Eminem is at right now, because it's like at a certain point in time, he forgot how to rap. Like, he was taking them pills and he was having his own addictions and stuff like that, and then he just forgot how to rap. He just like this. He just was going to scream the whole fucking time.
Not to say that that was part of rap, at the time.
Not. Oh, well, you're talking about the pills and shit like that?
Yeah.
Well, he was already naturally inclined to shit. He was doing that shit.
Even though you knew that at the time the style of music was the rapper was the seller over the doer, or the user, I should say.
Yeah, because he was doing it then.
And he was a user early. He was. It was expressive.
He was a user early, but my thing is, I don't think people want a certain thing, but I don't think that Eminem was truly ready for the amount of global stardom that he was going to experience. Because even to this day, Eminem ain't really doing shit, but he just broke some records. off of Houdini, which is a terrible fucking record.
No, yeah, I mean, people.
He's always going to have that fan set globally.
He's not like a lot of people get pushed to the side or care less about because they're not who they once were, or they don't.
That's not him.
They don't create what they used to.
Yeah.
And I get it. I mean, mind you, I'd be a hypocrite or a liar to say that I like his stuff today over his old shit. Of course, we liked Eminem for his old shit.
Man, who the fuck after the Eminem show? Who the fuck is listening to Eminem?
No, it stopped.
It's like I don't know
stopped.
nobody that's riding around and listening to Eminem after the
they're not.
Eminem show. But in fucking still in the United States, in Europe, especially Eastern Europe,
He's rocking.
This nigga's a god, bro.
Yeah.
That's why he could take a decade off and come back with some mediocre shit, and
And it
he's
pops.
gonna break records. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Now imagine when he was on. I don't think you're prepared for that. So yeah, you're gonna deal with some substance issues because you're just not ready for something like that. Nothing
Yeah.
can prepare you for Michael Jackson, Beatles
Style rap, maybe.
style of fame to where you can't exist anymore.
That's
you know
fair.
what I'm saying? You
That's fair.
You asked for it, but nigga, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Like at this point in my life, like I would hate to be. I would hate to be walk up with the camera already rolling, not ask permission, famous, and it don't take much to be that.
Mm-hmm.
For somebody to just walk up already with a camera going, not even ask you nothing. They just get close to you when they're, and you're just like, yo, chill the fuck, yay, man.
Yo, nobody asked
I
permission.
don't want to be that fucking famous.
Yeah.
That's nothing. You can be local and have people just walk up and just take pictures without you not even, I don't want to be that famous.
I've seen it happen.
Whereas, can you imagine every time people see you, they scream. At concerts, it's cool.
Yeah, of course.
But every time I see you, you either scream or cry. It gets weird. Like your existence gets weird after a while.
Yeah.
Like this is how people interact with you. They see you, they scream or they cry. And you're just looking at them like,
I'm a person.
all right, I'm just going to go to Sam's Club now.
Yeah.
You can get off your knees. It detaches from humanity.
No, but it goes to this might be the weirdest analogy. But for example, like how you're watching a movie and when you typically watch a movie, you're kind of neutral when you watch the whole thing. You just watch it and it's over, right? And it is what it is, and you talk about what happened after. But there's only a select few movies that emotionally you get invested in.
Sure.
Where they cause you, like, maybe it's the way the actors are acting that causes you to either get emotional in a sad way or the joyful tears.
Or
what I'm
some
saying?
life-defining shit.
Exactly. And you see that happen in the movie and it affects you in a way that's like, yo, this ain't me. Like, you think it to yourself, like, why am I getting like, hey, yo, chill out.
No. Let me stop you now. The older you get, and I'm speaking from experience, nigga, I'm a crier, bro.
Okay, no, but let's talk about...
I'm
let's
getting
talk about-
emotional
well,
over
we
some shit.
We talking about our youthful self. So old Kai probably wasn't like that.
No, I wasn't much of a crier.
So, and so I'm saying, like, you have those like films or shit like that. They're film jerkers, right?
Yeah.
They cause you to feel that way. It's no different than what we're talking about now.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, and so
When you actually see,
yeah, so like it's almost like when you see somebody who's damn near unreal because
because you
their
have
star
been,
power.
and it doesn't pay, and it really doesn't take much to get to the unreal. Like just a couple magazine covers and stuff like that. When you're used to, they're just something else.
Well,
And when you see them in real life, you're like, oh shit.
for example, if you no disrespect to 6ix9ine. Whoa,
Okay.
crazy. No disrespect to 5ix9ine, Royce
Yeah.
5ix9ine. But if we let's say we go and see Royce 5ix9ine, it's most likely, or like maybe not us, because I don't know how you react to people.
Well, I've been around celebrities, so
So you might not react the same.
if it's somebody, but it might be with Royce because if you connect
Sure.
to a message, to a music, or to like an idea of what a person represents. For example, Dave Chappelle is not just Dave Chappelle to me.
No, he's not.
He represents like an idea. You know what I'm saying? Killer Mike.
I think they represent the culture. They're
Yeah.
the culture.
Killer Mike, Kendrick Lamar. They're an idea.
Yeah.
to people. So when people define themselves based on stuff by you, when they see you, it's a lot more invested. You're not just a person. Like I have like adopted certain stuff that you have done into my identity. You mean a little bit more to me than
Yeah, exactly. So it's almost like you use the comedians as an example, right? So like, let's say like if we met certain ones that like on this, you know, when we talk sometimes we talk about some of our favorite comedians, right? Those being the Chappelles, the Bill Burrs of the world, you know, et cetera, et cetera. A lower tier comedian who maybe made us really laugh at a comedy show, if we got the chance to speak to him, it might be a normal conversation, right? But like for example, you go, you know, Chappelle finishes his set at a show, and somehow you're brought backstage to kick it. That's not you're trying
to compose yourself the whole time.
Yeah, you can't say you're going in. You're almost like in a sense starstruck, and
for sure,
and you don't really know exactly what to say because you don't want to say the wrong shit.
Niggas who say that ain't true is lying like a motherfucker.
No, I will say like depending on who I met,
depending on who it is,
I might be like, you know, my version of starstruck might be different from yours. Like some people are ridiculous and like, you know, they're just over the top obnoxious, right?
Yeah.
And then for me, I think if I saw somebody who I really held to a high standard, the Chappelle of the world, you know, even if it was like, you know, I met Rick Ross or like somebody 50 Cent, some shit like that.
I met 50, it was cool.
I might be like, but like the conversation, like they were willing to sit down and have a conversation with it. I'd be like, you know, I would have to think a lot more and really compose myself to really express or to engage in this conversation because this might not be regular status type dude.
Dog, I'm not gonna lie to you. What happens is, and I think the 50 Cent thing is a big example of that because I was until recently, but especially even long past when he was popular, I was a big 50 fan.
Yeah.
Big. I'm talking about before I Self-Destruct album days, where his popularity had gone out and nobody's really listening to 50. I was still like a huge 50 fan, right? But I think sometimes you don't know how you're going to be until something happens, right?
Of course.
I didn't realize how I am with death until it happened.
Sure.
Come to find out, I'm really stoic, right? You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know I was like that. I discovered that at about 16 when my grandma Phoebe, who was majorly influenced over the family.
Yeah.
When she passed, this is like a big thing. And then I go to the funeral and everybody is destroyed. My big brother and my big sister are destroyed. And because they're destroyed, there's something in me that becomes stoic.
Sure.
So now I've got them and I'm like, you feel like you have to take care of everybody else. From that point on, when it comes to that, you're stoic.
Yeah.
Like I was telling you, my cousin, my best friend, Jamie, passed about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago now.
R.I.P.
And that was the closest death I've ever had. And I don't think I didn't cry, but I was nervous about the funeral. And I was like, I don't know how this is going to go. This is the closest I've ever had, right?
Was it open casket?
Yeah.
Oh, that's probably
so this
why.
was going to be rough.
That's probably why.
Not to mention who he was to the family, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is like when he passes, it's like somebody turned the lights out.
Yeah, everything stopped.
Not everybody is like that. Not everybody is that when this person passes, everything stops.
Mm-hmm.
He was that guy in our family. So this is major, not to mention that's my best friend, that's my muse. So it's like, fuck, how am I going to take this shit? And when we went to the wake, when I saw him,
mm-hmm.
he was fucking beautiful.
Oh.
And
okay,
I'm
I
like,
didn't see that coming.
And I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah.
That's what I needed. That's what I needed. And I had to do the keynote for the eulogy. And I was good. I was up there. I was making jokes. It was funny. Everybody was laughing. At one point, I felt it coming when I was talking. And I was able to maintain. But usually when it comes to death, I'm pretty stoic. I didn't know that I would ever be like that. When I met 50, I was stoic. So it depends. You never know how you're going to be. There are some people like, if I had got a chance to meet Muhammad Ali, I probably would have just cried. I probably literally would have been on my fucking
But that's what
knees in his presence
There's definitely like
because I defined my life by him.
I can't say that I would do that because I haven't met that high of caliber of person, right? Like
It's just who you, is there somebody who like, who you have like defined your existence by? Like, this is the dude, this is my idol. So you know, if I ever was in this dude's presence, like I have created philosophies about my life based on, you know what I'm saying?
I wish I think if you were asking the me of 10, 15 years ago, I would have multitude of answers.
I think I think that I would be
But the reason
shaky around Nas.
the reason I think that my mindset's a little different is because, you know, and I will say there's a lot of stories that contributed to like my way of thinking.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people's experiences, like people I know personally. Who,
You're not a real emotional guy either, though.
Yeah, and those who know me in my inner circles, they know that I'm not the most emotional person. Like, yeah, I'll be happy, but like I'm not overly expressive, I think, the way maybe most people might be for certain things.
And even if you want to, like, even if you're shouting like inside, it's something about your body that won't allow you to do it.
You know what's another?
You know what I'm saying?
Let me put this on record. I've never said this ever to anybody on publicly.
Okay.
We went to go just pre-COVID. We went to go see the Joe Budden podcast, right?
Right.
Joe Budden, Maul, and Rory were still the show, right? And I remember we was there, and my homie who was there, one of the girls who was with us, she was like, she's friends with some of the people on the team. So she's all like, hey, we're going to hit them up after the show, blah, blah, blah. Somehow we ended up sitting front row. And then afterward, they pulled us backstage, right?
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I never talked about it. So it's funny. Mozzie was at the show too.
Yeah, we're fans of the, like, even before the podcast, the music.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I always liked Joe Budden's like music, even though he wasn't the most popular artist. And yes, people claim he's the one hit wonder. That's fine.
I like if you know his catalog, he was the first with.
I like this catalog,
the emo rap, like the
yeah. And so, you know, we go backstage, and I try to get Mozzie to stick around because I was like, "Yo, stick around, come where we are. You can get backstage. Maybe we have a conversation with these guys. You know, it might be beneficial." Me and Mozzie just started the podcast. You know, it could be beneficial, right?
Yeah.
I think me and Mozzie were only like a few months into the pod. And so, mind you, he couldn't stay because it was in Austin. So he had to make his way back to the city, right? So we're there, and mind you, let me backtrack. Pre-show, part of the tickets that my friend had got were also meet and greet. So we go in there, and they're letting people talk. They're taking pictures and shit like that, right? And I did go up to them. They were all there, and I forgot what words we had, but the one thing that stood out was I said like, "Hey man, y'all's podcast, like, I'm a big fan of y'all show. Like what y'all
sure
do."
You said it just like that too.
Yeah, just like that. And then I'll never forget it, man. It was, and I thought maybe a normal person or a regular person, other person would have felt like embarrassed, but they say, "All right, man, let's pose up for the picture." They have the camera, right? And then Joe Budden is all like, "You say you're a big fan of the podcast." Like it was funny to him.
Yeah.
And I was like, let me keep my composure because the camera's taking a picture, right? And then we take the picture, and then I'm just like, I appreciate it. I was like, I ain't got nothing to say to that, whatever.
Yeah.
So I walked down, I was like, man. I was like, almost like,
Did he feel like he clowned you?
Oh, it was clown fashion. It was clown fashion. Like you were making fun of somebody saying that they were a fan of your show.
Yeah, you want to say something. You should have I should have said something back, fool.
It crossed my mind, but it's like it would have been pointless. It probably would have been anything good, but I was just like, you know what? Like, I couldn't be mad because knowing how we do our show and how they do their show, nobody's safe from getting clowned on. But because I was such a fan of Joe Budden, especially at the time, I was just like, man, I didn't want to fucking get like clowned on, like for giving a comment. You know what I'm saying? So did it kind of like throw me off a little bit? Yeah, of course
Yeah.
it did.
Feel a sort of
You
way.
don't want to hear it from that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially in front of the whole crew. The whole gang is here. And, you know, to fast forward, though, you know, I let it be. We went backstage and, you know, Joe Budden was there and, like, a couple of the whole crew was there. And we were just chopping it up. And then come to find out, we had the same VIP section as Parks and all them. And so we was like, cool, all right. So they decided not to. So they text my homegirl and we ended up at this private area of a hotel, like on a balcony. And we were there for like a couple hours with Parks and everybody. Joe Budden had crashed out early, but we were all them. And then, you know, a little bit of podcast talk and, you know, just a little bit of advice and shit like that. I was like, Parks is one of the most genuine dudes I've met.
Sure.
And
Sure.
he's the guy who's off camera.
And he seems like it.
Yeah. And so, you know, even though it was like simple advice, it was just like, it was cool to hear it because he was, you know, we're just in the element of just being sitting around on the balcony, sipping whiskey and the dude's smoking and just chilling.
Who's the coolest? I remember I never met him, but I remember going to see Nas a couple of times. And I lose my shit every fucking. He's just one of those dudes where, I mean, I done built a lot. I'm invested
Of who you
in that.
met?
I'd lose my shit if I met Nas, straight up.
No, but you seen him?
What show? Yeah, I went to his shows.
So what's your question?
Who is the coolest celebrity you ever met?
The coolest celebrity. You know, I could probably put coolest meaning like where I feel like we could be one of the boys. I would still throw Joe Budden in that mix.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the other guys, you know, like, you know, I've met people in passing, handshakes, you know, been around athletes, Spurs players, or, you know, whatever. But I never had a real conversation.
I had to check Robert Ory twice.
Word?
Yeah,
What happened there?
motherfucker. Cause man, he had a thing for my ex. We go out to the club. It's the same. It was like the same thing twice. I was in my rapper days, so every time we would go to the club, we'd be VIP.
Yeah.
And it's the prime clubbing days, prime rapper days. You want something to drink? Yeah, I go down and go get her something to drink.
Sure.
I look up. Robert Ory's going towards her. She was bad, you know. She was bad. I'm like, motherfucker. So I go, you know, it's Robert Ory.
He's gonna win.
He's on the Spurs. He's 6-something. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
So I'm going to rush to get up there. I get up there.
He's only had game-winning shots in championships. But whatever.
You know what I'm saying? So he's going up there to go talk to her. He's getting up there. I'm like, fuck. I get the drinks. I go up there the first time and get up there and he's talking to him. I'm like, hey, yo, Rob, this me, bro. He's like, oh, this you, brother? Yeah, that's me. Oh, no bad. No bad. Yeah, you married, nigga. Fuck out of here.
And he looking down at you.
Yeah,
too.
he was looking down at me like,
You
oh, this
hoe.
you, little bro? I was like, yeah, it's me. He's like, oh, okay, no disrespect, no disrespect.
Yeah.
2 weeks later, same fucking situation.
Same girl?
Yes, it's my ex.
Oh shit.
So I go down and do something. I look up. I'm seeing him going straight towards him. I'm like, motherfucker, man, what is this deal?
Yeah.
I go up there. Hey, Rob, this is me, bro. Oh, this you, brother? Yes. Yeah, it's
Hey,
me.
he
Oh,
playing-
no.
He playing
no.
a stupid card now.
Yeah, no disrespect. I was like, what the fuck is this dude's problem?
Yeah.
T-Pain is the coolest.
I always wanted to meet T-Pain.
T-Pain is the coolest. We was at
I feel like he's such a fun individual.
nigga. Let me tell you something. So me and my best friend, we were in our strip club days.
Oh wait, fun fact before you say that because I'll forget this. When I found out that when we sat down with Bankroll once
Yeah,
on the show, right, and he said
the
that
coolest.
T-Pain was his favorite artist,
Yeah,
and I was like, that's funny because he's been one of my favorite artists of all time too, and not only that, but like a personality.
the
too.
most underrated if not one of the most underrated artists of all time. Top five.
I will say that, and I mean, if you really take back, you know,
Like the
look back at the
magnitude
track,
of what that dude
the track record though was crazy.
unprecedented.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I blame him because he went through a depression.
The drinking problem, the brokenness.
He was never broke.
No, but he was more broke than what he was.
He
he's
should have been
great
way.
now.
He should have been. Yeah,
He's great now, but I mean, you've heard him say it himself. He's like, "Yo, I was, you know, he's spending stupid money on people that he shouldn't be spending it on. He
there's
was
that.
going broke.
But his issue was
Maybe he wasn't poor, but he was going broke
Yeah.
compared to where he was.
His issue was the flack that he caught for what he does with the
Yeah.
auto-tune and what he inspired.
Well, when Jay-Z did that shit.
Jay Usher said he ruined R&B. Like, your heroes are telling you
Downplaying you.
you're fucking all of this up, and it
Yeah.
fucked him up. You know, he's a real, actually sensitive guy.
No, I believe it.
Man,
I hear him just from the way he talks.
So me and my best friend, this was our strip club days. Shout out to Ricky because he was at Perfect 10 at that point. And we went to Perfect 10. And you know, for those who don't know, San Antonio is military city. San Antonio is like medical city.
Sure.
So he was down here because he had to get surgery on his mouth. He was on tour, riding around in one of the golf carts,
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
crashed it and fucked his face up, right? So he had to come down here to get surgery. And he was in a strip club in his pajamas.
Oh, God.
So
Well, T-Pain can do that.
we had a section, and I looked over there, and I'm like, hey, yo, Suge, that's T-Pain? He's like, yeah, that's fucking T-Pain. So I sent him a bottle over. And at that
groupie?
hey. No, but I did it in a real player way. You know what I'm saying? We sent him a bottle over to his section, and at that point, he was being sponsored by Nuvo, a
Oh, yeah.
disgusting brand of fucking alcohol.
I drank it a few times.
That shit
but
is disgusting.
Looking back
fool.
now,
it was terrible.
It's nasty behavior.
So he sent us a bottle of Nuvo over, and we just was like,
The fuck is this?
come on. Fucking join the section. He said, all right, cool, fuck it. And he just came over and we kicked it all fucking night.
That's dope.
This nigga was fucking hilarious. But we joked like he was one of the fucking homies. We talked about, because the Jay-Z thing where Jay-Z performed Death of Autotune and
Yeah.
T-Pain came out had just happened.
Yeah.
But he still felt the sort of way. He
Of course.
participated in it
Yeah.
to cool the tensions, but he felt a way about it. So we talked
Yeah.
about that in the club. We had such a dope-ass time, dope-ass conversation. I was like, this got to be one of the coolest celebrities ever.
Yeah. No, I can see that just from not even meeting dude. And like if there's ever, he would be in the top 3 people who I would want to sit down with and just to kick it.
And he was major.
Yeah. And because I feel like he would be like one of the homies. Like he would talk to you like one of the homies. There's no like feeling the need to make anybody feel small around him just because of his status.
Yeah.
I don't think he cares about none of that shit.
That was right at his apple bottom jeans moment.
Yeah. And
He was major.
you know, I personally, I might have had a little bit of a thing against Jay-Z because I was like, yo, stop attacking my guy.
You know what? I don't think that. I feel like really at that point it was crazy because
Sure. Yeah.
I think that we all felt like T-Pain was doing it right, but he
was the master of it.
He spawned so many children,
Mm-hmm.
and it got to the point where it got out of control. Jay wasn't coming at T-Pain. That's why he brought T-Pain out.
He was coming.
He was coming at the babies. He was coming
Yeah.
at Ron Browns. He was coming at Future, who completely did all the two wrong.
Yeah, but somehow did something.
Somehow
right.
he worked.
Yeah,
He found his audience. That's
Sure.
what Future did.
and
Trap-
develop a cult.
And then Trap had a second resurgence.
Mhm.
But he was doing it all wrong.
Sure.
He sound crazy. When he was Pluto, he sound terrible.
No, his auto still sounds crazy.
Yeah, but you know,
But that's his thing.
He found his way. But him and Ron Browns, it was terrible.
Yeah,
and
Ron,
it was like
Ron Browns is wild.
fucking up the industry.
Yeah,
Ron
that was-
Browns was crazy.
Yeah, you know, I ain't gonna lie. The pop champagne was kind of cool.
Oh, it was gross. I was like, he's doing it wrong.
No, it sounded cool, but like because it was catchy. But if you really want to, you know, crack down on the science of autotune, yes, it was done wrong.
that shit was terrible,
It
bro.
was done wrong.
T-Pain was the only person doing it right.
No, he was a master of that. He was
So,
the master of T-Pain.
You know, for everybody that was like, Jay, I was like, Jay showed you that he
I say
wasn't
he was the
coming
master
at
of T-Pain. I meant autotune.
Huh?
I said T-Pain was the master of T-Pain.
No, he was
He was the
ma-
master of the T-Pain
The
effect.
funny part about it was like, yeah, that effect, and even before him, I think he was the predecessor to. Do you know who Roger Zapp is?
Roger Zapp, yeah.
Computer Love. When he
Yeah.
had that fucking crazy effect and all of those hits. So T-Pain was like the next generation of that.
Yeah.
But that's
Well,
where it fucking stopped.
Well, there was people who used autotune. I mean, I
the
think
whole industry went on
Yeah.
autotune crazy after
no, but
T-Pain.
they just weren't using it like he used it.
Yeah.
Like
The last time we had heard anything like that was Roger Zapp's last song, which is California Love. That was the last time you heard anything like that.
Yeah,
And
or-
then T-Pain came.
There was even even some people from Texas. Who was it?
MB Riders were using it big time.
Yeah,
And there was
I think even Baby Bash used it. I mean, not that I care, but I'm saying
I'm not hating on MB Riders though, because
no, but even cats like that, like I'm saying that it was utilized before the T-Pain era emerged.
yeah,
Yeah.
MB Riders weren't terrible with it. But then again, that was Cali, and Cali is Roger Zapp.
I will never say that anybody could do it the way T-Pain do it.
No, not auto-tune.
He was the
he
one.
is the master.
He's the one of autotune.
But all his babies were terrible.
yeah, no, that's
And that was like the whole industry for like
everyone else.
5 years.
Yeah, it was pretty. Bad.
Kanye West did it okay.
But Kanye West is different. He's a different kind of creative,
Sure.
and you can't say none of these babies are Kanye West. They don't do what Kanye West does.
Nah, that's not true. That's not
Who
true.
does what Kanye West does?
Hold on. But let's not act like, okay, we've had a Kanye West conversation before, and I
Okay.
tell you that Kanye West is always a reflection of who he's around.
Oh no, we know that.
When T-Pain dropped, there was a year when Kanye West was exclusively around. And you know what came out of that? Graduation.
Yeah,
That's a damn near T-Pain tribute album. Because he was around him, he soaked up the energy. He's just like Drake, but just better.
yeah.
Because he's a creative, so he actually creates the stuff.
Yeah.
But Graduation, which is a major album,
No, I agree.
that's a T-Pain thing.
No, I agree. But the reason I say that he did it well is because like
He's Kanye.
he goes into a different space.
Yeah, because anybody who's like a Jay Dilla acolyte, I know you don't understand who that is.
Jay Dilla?
Yeah.
Hmm?
Okay. Anybody who's a Jay Dilla acolyte can do anything, really.
Sure.
So, yeah, that was his version of T-Pain, and he did it right, but he was a T-Pain baby
Yeah.
when it comes to auto-tune.
He was one of those I mean, kind of how you mentioned already, like where Drake soaks in the people around him. And it's almost like absorbing,
Yeah,
you know.
that's Kanye West, because 808s and Heartbreaks was John Bryan. He got around John Bryan, and he had just discovered this dude named Kid Cudi, who did most of the hooks. You know what I'm saying? And he just absorbed that shit.
Yeah.
And he produced 808s, which is probably my favorite. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kanye West album. So he absorbs energy, and he spits it back out, and it's great.
Yeah.
But
you know,
Graduation was definitely T-Pain.
he takes, you know, everything, even if you take it back to like back in the day, there's always the influence of somebody else.
I can and every one of his projects, I can name who he was around.
Yeah. And that's
My
fair.
Twisted Dark Fantasy is Travis Scott.
Yeah, but
Pablo is Chance the Rapper.
if you even if you're putting aside Kanye, like you always see like, you know, if you ask the artist who they're influenced by,
Sure.
there's always some of that incorporated in what they do.
Sure.
And so, you know, are some more obvious than others? Of course. You know, that's just how it
Yes.
is. Especially with the sample era where everybody's sampling shit and
Because even Jay had even Jay-Z had Jay Electronica.
yeah.
He wasn't getting ghost written, but just being around him made him more. He's talking more about black issues and stuff like
You
that.
might rap
His
a certain
lyrics-
way.
He was
Yeah.
rapping a little bit different. It was like he's absorbing the energy,
Yeah.
and that's cool. What's not cool is when they start bleeding. When they bleed out of you, and it was like, I hear such and such in you.
Like too much.
That's the problem.
yeah.
When you're just absorbing the energy, it's not a problem.
Like honestly, I still felt like Kanye sounded like Kanye, but he was just incorporating new sounds into what he was doing.
the
And,
Good Life,
like if I start listening
the
to
Good
Kanye,
Life don't sound like Kanye West. You know that. The Good Life
no, yeah,
is T-Pain.
that sounds like T-Pain, but T-Pain's on it.
Of course he is.
That's different.
Of course he is.
That's different. But songs that didn't include T-Pain, like where he's not on the record,
He was writing.
you still even if you're writing, but you sound like Kanye. But
Okay.
during
okay.
the collaboration, I would say yes. This like you would have thought this was a T-Pain record, completely. Yeah. But it's crazy, man. It's crazy what influences can do.
It all, to
And
bring
a
it
lot of
back to our
greatness-
original point,
A
it
lot
all
of
depends
greatness
on
has
who it
come
is.
from this, though.
There are some celebrities that I ain't gonna lie. I would go fucking, I'd lose my shit.
Yeah,
But I'm invested in a different.
way.
Some of these guys, like the older guys, are like, I damn near define my life by certain shit. Like you can define your life by like movies.
Of course.
Fucking The Matrix Planet of the Apes, like all of those shit like that. If you're watching him and you're seeing all the fucking dog whistles and stuff like that,
Yeah.
like you can define that. Shit, my early life was Rocky, the underdog, the ultimate underdog story. Those 3 franchises right there is like life defining for me.
You know what's crazy? Some of the movies, and I know we got to, get out of here in a moment,
Yeah.
but some of the people who influenced me the most, I didn't feel like my life could be theirs, but I could see myself in their shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie Murphy with the Beverly Hills Cop days.
Yeah.
Like, I remember I might have been a little too young to be watching, but my dad was an Eddie Murphy fan.
That universal charisma.
Yeah, my dad was a Eddie Murphy fan, and so he was playing the Beverly Hills Cops at the crib whenever I was like elementary school, even younger than that.
Yeah.
And so I always had a glimpse of Eddie Murphy. So to me, that was like, and it's crazy now that I'm even mentioning him. That might be one of them dudes. So I feel like, yo, this is unreal to be sitting.
But everybody
in
feels
front
that
of you.
way about him.
Exactly.
Everybody feels
But
that way.
it's almost that level of stardom that would get me there.
He's so
know?
detached. When you watch him, he's one of those celebrities. Have you ever seen celebrities that these guys are like mega, 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 mega.
He's a mega.
But they don't
act like it.
It doesn't seem like they actually understand
Sure.
what they mean to people. And then when people are trying to explain, it makes them feel weird.
They might, but it's just, what can you do at this point?
Yeah, I can dig that.
Yeah, what can you do? Like, people have been worshiping Eddie Murphy since he was like in the 90s.
Yeah, like how many times can you hear that kind of talk before you get numb to it? And I'm like, you're everything to me, and you just be like, that's some powerful shit to say to somebody.
It's almost like, people who that's why I don't get mad at like whenever people say like, well, you know what, so and so is a piece of shit because when I saw them and I wanted an autograph or a picture, they didn't do it. And I was like, you can't be mad at them. I mean, now if the person completely disrespected you in a flagrant way, then yeah, that's different. But if they just said, oh, not right now, and now you hate them for life or her for life,
That shit weird.
To me, that's not realistic.
That shit weird. It'd be like, look, have you ever thought of, no,
You don't know what that life is like.
Just the fact that it's like, I just wanted to come to Sam's Club. People are used to, like, let's say I'm a sex symbol.
Sure.
And that's something to be thrown on you, which means you always have to look like this to people.
So you can't look like
you can't be regular. And I just wanted to go to Sam's Club, but here you come with the camera phone. I don't want to be on your fucking video, bro. Like, I look terrible. It's off brand. And then if I tell you something, now I'm a bad guy.
Well, unfortunately, that comes with the status.
Okay.
Some people are built for that and some people are not. And then there's those people who are going to take advantage of, if this is my status, then it's curbside for life at this point.
Yeah, but the celebrities got to understand that for the people, it's just like, I'm never going to see you again. You know what I'm saying? I've been watching you my whole life. This is my, for them, this is my one chance. I got to take it.
Sure, but you're also one of the millions.
Yeah, it's weird.
So,
I would never want to. Your whole life, you want to be rich and famous until you get a glimpse.
That's why,
like a small glimpse of what that is, and you're like, I couldn't take that.
That's why when they ask the question, do you rather be rich or famous? I'd rather be rich.
Well, my question is, do you want to be popular or important?
Important.
I want to be important.
I'd rather be important and rich.
So important, but important may mean you're never going to be popular.
I'm cool with that.
I'm cool with that.
Completely cool. Maybe, no. I think I would always be cool with that position.
I just want to mean something. I don't want to, at the end of the day, I don't want to, my existence to have meant nothing.
You still want to pick up your groceries, though. Unbothered.
I'd like a little bit. I would like...
Maybe one.
If I'm being honest, you want facial recognition.
Sure.
You just don't want
over the top
people coming out of their skin. I'd like to write something that means something, and I have, so I'm cool. Mm-hmm. I've had all the messages come, and people tell me this meant something to me when you wrote, and a lot of it came from Militant Manchild. Like, bro, the messages I got, and I'm like, I'm good for the rest of my life. Somebody read my shit and felt it.
I did what I had to do.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
So I would rather that, and then the not thinking I'm real. A lot of celebrities are really cool at just keeping themselves so grounded that you cannot like see them for the megastars that they are.
Yeah.
Because they have never like allowed their image to get any bigger than it is. They will always give you, I'm just a regular nigga. So when you meet them, you treat them like a regular nigga.
Yeah.
And other people, they just, other people understand like Kendrick and stuff like that. Prince, mystery, the lack of me makes me bigger.
Yeah.
So when you see me, I'm like a fucking god because you never see me.
It's the I would even put, even though Dave Chappelle, we see him a lot everywhere.
He's one of those guys
he's still like kind of mysterious because he's not showboating or doing anything like that. He's just doing his shows and even though we see him on Netflix all over the place doing his stand-up specials, it's like, yeah, but that's where you see him.
He tries. He's one of those guys. He's one of those rare guys is that he tries to keep his image grounded.
Sure.
I just live in Ohio, bro.
Exactly.
I'm just a regular dude, but everything he does is major.
Yeah.
So it's hard for you to be grounded when every time you pop out, it breaks things.
Like
you cannot be a regular dude when every time you come out, you break things.
He'll never be a regular dude, but he also doesn't do regular things.
No, and he does that shit on purpose to leave a legacy.
Yeah.
He does crazy shit, so you'll just remember.
And it's crazy how you prefer to be regular, but you don't
Why
do
not
regular
taking
shit.
it, dog? Why not take advantage of the shit? Dog, for as much flack as he get for the decision, everybody would have done the same shit. Kobe just won a championship, and all anybody cares about is me and what I'm going to do. Everybody would have done the decision the same fucking way.
Yeah.
Flack or not, if you get a chance to have the whole globe want to know what are you going to do, to the point where everybody in the world would just tune in just for one person to ask you one question.
Yeah.
Where are you going to go? Everybody forgot about Kobe and everything else. It's just about you. Everybody would have done that. One time in your life, everything can be about you. The world is going to stop just so somebody can ask you one question. And then they'll burn your jerseys afterwards. But still,
that's what's crazy.
I would have done the decision the same fucking way.
That's what's crazy. And only
I don't care how humble you are. Just one time I could stop the world.
And only a few people will ever do that in life.
Hate if you want, you would have done the same shit.
Facts, man. Well, shit, man. Hey, it was a good pod.
Yes, sir.
I'm glad we brought the whiskey back.
Whiskey boys.
We haven't done whiskey in a while on the pod. It's always good, man. It makes me loosen up a little bit.
Oh, it loosens your blood a little bit, huh?
Hey, man, it's like a blood.
Yeah, you might
right
have
now.
a problem, but whatever.
No, I don't do that. I'm actually, you know what? Before we close out, just want to say, I've been on my fitness shit. Been working. Not only that,
look at this guy.
Brought in my oldest. My oldest son is
you need that.
Is working with me.
You need that.
We're both working together. I'm showing him workouts that I've learned in the past, and that I've been taught before that I utilize to this day. Show him that, showing him the value of people don't really understand the value of stretching involved in working out.
For sure.
And so he's learning all this stuff, and I'm like, you know what? He's making me a proud father right now.
I subscribe to do this 28-day calisthenics challenge.
Shout out to all the kids just finished school.
That shit is beating my ass right now. Every day I'm getting my ass kicked. These niggas are throwing like 17.
We appreciate you getting your ass kicked. People love when you're tortured.
I think when you say people, you mean you.
Just me?
Damn, I sound like Obama just now.
No, I'm pretty sure Taiwan and Ricky are with me.
I think when people say people, they just mean you.
Yo, no. Taiwan and Ricky are with me on that one.
Oh, for sure.
They're with me.
Oh, they're for sure.
They're with me. They
needs to
are
deploy.
Here for your punishment.
Nigga, he's the only person in my life. I tell people all the time, like, hey, you need therapy. When I talk to Ty, I'm like, you need to deploy. There's no therapy that's going to save you. You got to go and work that shit out with an M4.
I'm going to say it here. There needs to be a day where me, you, maybe Ricky if he's available, but Ty, we all need
So we can jump me? Just a Kai jump pod.
I mean, I didn't think about that
I'll
part.
hold my own, bro.
I didn't think about that part. I was just saying maybe we go,
No.
to a pool bar.
That would
or
be
pool hall or something.
That would be a real jump day.
I would. I'm here for it.
This is definitely me blocking kung fu movie.
And I feel like I'll be playing ad libs in the background.
Oh, for sure. You're
that'd be me.
Jeezy.
Yeah.
That's right.
yeah,
That's you.
I will be full Jeezy mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But hey, man, your favorite potters in the land.
Hey, man.
Kai Phoenix, the Cobra,
Cobretti,
Star DeMarco in the building.
porn star.
Yo, stop it.
What?
You need to stop.
What I say? What I do?
We were doing so well.
That's your Twitter shit,
no,
dog.
we were doing well.
All right.
You didn't have to do that. What's Twitter?
X. Excuse me. X. Triple X.
I belong to X.
Triple X.
Yo, belong to X is crazy.
Dry meat star.
Yo, first of all, put some respect on the dry age.
Dry age star. Excuse
And
me.
just to clarify, you guys, we started laughing so quickly that I never finished the full definition of what dry age was because we couldn't stop laughing.
Come on, man.
But hey, yo, look, episode 318, no, 19.
19.
319 of the CSP, baby. Yo, we here now.
Hey.
Look out for some exclusive Kai shit coming in the near future.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
Soon.
Yo, we out of here.